You know, every time I go to a country, two things comes to mind. How does the country make money and what sectors are they in to actually make that money? It comes to my head every single time. So picture this. Say you come from a tiny country with less than 200,000 people. You guys don't have oil, no large industries, minimal natural resources, but somehow you rake in billions and billions of dollars a year. Now I'm talking about Saint Lucia because I just got back from there. It's fresh on my mind. And like I said, everywhere I go, I have this feeling because I want to know how people make money, support their families, etc. It just comes to my head. So in today's video, I want to talk more about it. I want to dig deep on the inner workings of the economy of Saint Lucia. So St. Lucia brings in about $2 to $3 billion a year. And unlike us in the States, we have factories. Other countries have factories, larger countries. They don't need that. They're in the service sector, service-based businesses. And I'll talk about that right now. So they're in tourism, they are in finance and financial services. So there's no surprise here that they're in tourism because I was just there. I participated in it, etc. What is shocking is tourism makes up 65% of the money that comes in. I've never heard of an amount that large when it comes to tourism for a country. I've heard 10, 15, 20, 30, 35%. I've heard those numbers, never heard 65%. So we know how important tourism is to the economy of St. Lucia, the most important. And let's break that down even so, because we know people come to enjoy the beaches. People enjoy the luxury resorts like I did. We were staying at a place called Royalton. I think that's a part of the Marriott. But the largest one is Sandals. Sandals, they have it in Jamaica and in other Caribbean islands. It's a big deal. And you feel their presence when you are in Castries. So you have the resorts. Then you have the cruise ships because it's one big ecosystem and it all adds up to that dollar amount. You see Royal Caribbean, you see Carnival Cruise. I think I even saw Virgin. So once those ships dock, thousands and thousands of people come off and they're spending money with the locals. You might say, how so? They're buying the food. They are buying stuff at the shops, maybe souvenirs, for example. They're buying tours and things like that. They're doing stuff when they actually get off the boat to enjoy themselves. So they're contributing to the local economy. Both the resorts and the carnivals, they help employ thousands and thousands of people. And you could tell when you're at the resort, like even at the one I was at, and I'm sure Sandals is much bigger, you got people at the front desk. You have people doing the luggage and the cooks and everything that you would see at an all-inclusive resort. But then when you start adding up the people and all the restaurants that they work in and all the people that do the rooms, etc., and then there might be different shifts. I mean, these large resorts really hire a large number of people. So we see how important it is to hiring the locals. And beyond that, all the fun things, renting ATVs or going out on tours, it just allows a lot of people to get jobs in the tourism sector. But let's move on a little bit. Let's talk about financial sector. What's something that St. Lucia does, they allow foreign companies to register their company in St. Lucia. Now you might ask, why would they do such a thing? Company registers and they set up in St. Lucia. What would be the benefit for that party as well as the country? Now, for the party, they might pay very little to no taxes on foreign affairs or whatever money they're making abroad. They're paying really little to nothing. So that's very enticing for someone to set up their business there. On the flip side, I can go deeper with that, but on the flip side, someone might say, why would St. Lucia do that to themselves? Why would they just allow foreign entities to set up in their country? What do they get out of that? Well, they get out a lot. They get fees, they get licensing fees as well. Like they issue licenses, obviously that costs, there's a cost for everything. Maybe with some of the businesses too, everybody needs a lawyer, so they make money with that, with filing, etc. So that's another thing. So they're pretty much collecting fees. This way they don't have to worry about export, they don't have to worry about this and that. They set up the structure which people can come over, exploit it, and they collect a fee from it pretty much. I did a video on this yesterday, so you can go check it out. Individuals, because St. Lucia has this thing technically legally where you can buy citizenship. Now what I mean by that is in brief, because if you want to learn deeper, you can check out my video. A person can donate 100,000 to the government, get a passport, get their citizenship that way. You can also do it via real estate. So if you do like a $300,000 real estate transaction, that's another way too that you can get your citizenship, get your passport, etc. I talk about the benefit of an individual doing that. Clearly, we know the benefit of how Saint Lucia benefits from it, because they collect fees, etc. So that rakes in millions of dollars. When you have individuals doing this, 100,000 a pop, is going to rake in millions of dollars and help this engine go. We'll get a little bit into manufacturing. Is not a huge sector for them. They create and export beer and rum, clothing, packaging. They do this. It's very low on the totem pole. You know, Saint Lucia used to be a place where they used to produce bananas, for example, just like most of the Caribbean, either certain agriculture, these things like that. But through the years, things have changed because it got very competitive. If you got a small nation like Saint Lucia compared to a larger island with larger output, for example, or with better systems, whatever, then they're going to outpace you and leave you in the back, and then you just focus on another area. But all in all, St. Lucia is a place that imports a lot. Even food, everything, tech, they import a lot, so they have to keep everything going. Hopefully this is helpful. Until next time, Dave during No Frontier, over and out. Peace.